My name's Phil and welcome back to another episode of Vermont's 100 Covered Bridges. Today we're at the Greenbanks Covered Bridge, which is in Danville. I hope you can hear me. I'm competing with a bit of tree shredding going on over there, so hopefully you can hear me. Greenbank Hollow, not only a bridge with a great history, but a bit of a ghost town as well. And so let me go and tell you all about this one. And there's a nice information board, and amongst it lists, here's the bridge, and it lists where the mills were and various other buildings and dwellings. And site one, this is where the woolen mill was. You can see all the brickwork there and there, and we'll be able to see more when I go into the river. So with just being here a few minutes, it's clear that this is a place to come and visit, not just for the covered bridge. There's obviously a lot more historical aspects to this area to see, so it could be a good, half a day trip mooching around here.
Greenbanks Hollow, a forgotten village. On this site in 1849, Benjamin Greenbank converted an existing small mill into a 5-storey woolen factory. As many as 45 people worked here to produce up to 700 yards of cloth a day. Greenbanks Hollow, as it became known, included a company store, a grist mill, sawmill, school and several residences nearby, all owned by Greenbank. On December the 14th, 1885, a fire at the mill quickly spread and destroyed the village, including the covered bridge. Greenbank did not rebuild, and today only the foundations of the mills and the homes remain, a mute testimony to the existence of a once thriving and important Danville community.
And site two is the Greenbank residence and what remains. With the bridge across the road. So as I mentioned, the earlier bridge, which wasn't believed to be covered, was built in the early 1880s and burnt down in 1885. And then this bridge was built in 1886, and it's a Queen post truss. I'm hiding away from the sun here, so hopefully you can see the beams going down all the way across and down on this side. It's a beautiful structure. It's 11'6", and it looks way more than 11'6". It's probably the highest that I've seen so far. I mean, it's great that the sun is out. I'm certainly not complaining, but it is messing up my my filming because the sun is obviously shining through the huge sides that are left open in the bridge, and a white painted bridge as well is also unique. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's open both at the sides but also with the width. And although the builder is unknown, again you've got the eaves coming out way over the edge of the bridge, similar to the style of the bridges we saw in nearby Linden. I do like this bridge. Not surprisingly, the bridge has received bit of modification. In 1970, steel beams were placed underneath the floor. Now, as well as the steel beams, there was also a centre pier placed in the middle of the brook to support the bridge. Now, the bridge continued to deteriorate, and the local town at one point were talking about bypassing the bridge altogether. However, funds were secured to rebuild the bridge. And during this rebuild, both the steel beams and the centre pier were actually removed. And this resulted in the bridge becoming a true covered bridge, with the Queen Post Truss supporting the weight of the floor. However, because it was a rebuild, and although some of the wood used in the rebuild was from the original, this bridge is now classed as a new build, although it remains on the historical register because of the authentic look and the authentic build that it retained. It really is different, and I keep saying this in every episode. Each bridge is unique and each bridge is different, and this is one that I do like. Is the one I haven't liked yet? No. And behind me we have the wall of the mill that I was showing you before, and there you can see the bridge with the sun behind it. You could just imagine the water wheels turning around and powering the mill behind me. And then as I turn around, we find another building complete with window. So yeah, clearly this was a very important and very busy industrial area back in the late 1800s. And as I turn around, you can see in downstream, there's the bridge. Amazing how the white paint almost makes it look like there's a glow coming from inside the bridge. So this is the abutment on the south side. So it's a nice bit of brickwork there. Don't know if it's original or not. And then it's got like a concrete base. And if I just turn around, we've got this concrete base here, and then a basic concrete abutment with some rocks thrown in down there. I'll see if I can get up there later after I come out of the river and get a closer look up there. Now let's see if we can go take a look downstream. I think I said this a couple of weeks back, that sometimes it's best for me just to shut up, and that was one of those moments where the river and the bridge just can say more than I can in less words. So what about the watercourse itself? Well, it's Joe's brook. I've got no idea who Joe is, but it's his brook. And the brook is about 20 miles long, and the brook starts where Steam Mill Brook and Rock Brook meet at Goslin's Mill. And Joe's Brook joins the Passumpsic River, which is where all the bridges in Linden and Lindenville flow into, about a mile before the Passumpsic ends up into the Connecticut River. And again, behind me, more evidence of mills. Hopefully you can see the brickwork behind me, just reinforcing the heavy industry that Benjamin Greenbank created in this little forgotten village. As I've said throughout the last few episodes, we've had a very, very dry summer. I mean, this is October the 2nd, so we're now into the fall or the autumn if you're watching this in the UK. Had we had significant rainfall, or when the snow starts and then that melts, I'm pretty sure I won't be standing, or I wouldn't be standing where I'm stood now. And a nice side-on shot of the bridge, the overhang from the eaves down to Joe's Brook. A closer look from under the north abutment, just a big concrete block, and they put all these rocks here. And a higher look at the south abutment as the car goes over. And it's always good to see the welcome sign from the Vermont Covered Bridge Society. Now, something else I've just noticed, which I haven't seen at any of the other bridges before, is this. Now, at first, I thought maybe it was a cattle grid, a wooden cattle grid to stop farm animals from crossing the bridge. But then, of course, when I look at the road in front of me and the slope, I realise maybe it's a drain. Which is interesting, because at the Williamsville Bridge and the Upper Mill Bridge in Wethersfield, they had both suffered from having a slope at one end and water getting onto the bridge and causing rot. And both of those bridges at one point were hired at one end. They raised it by like 2-3 feet to stop the water from coming on. Whereas here, instead, they just built a simple drain. And here, at the side of the bridge, you can see, obviously, I'll move all the, you can see the drain and obviously where the water can come out and happily flow down there and into Joe's Brook. And a nice historic marker. Historic site, Greenbanks Hollow Covered Bridge, 1886, Danville. October the 2nd, nothing but blue skies. What a great day to be out filming covered bridges. So this brings us to the end of the 6 bridges in Caledonia County. And as I say, if you are in the Lyndonville area, then visiting the 5 bridges in the town really is a must. So here's a list of the 6 bridges in Caledonia County. As I say, the first 5 are all in Lyndonville, and that is episode 53 was the Randall Bridge, episode 54 was the Sanborn Bridge, episode 55 was the Miller's Run Bridge, episode 56 the Schoolhouse Bridge, episode 57 was the Chamberlain Bridge, and here we are at episode 58 in Danville, and that's the Greenbanks Hollow Bridge. So once again, thanks for joining me in this episode. I hope the sound came out okay. So I've been competing with chainsaws and shredder, putting trees in the shredder and stuff. So hope it came out okay. Because it's a long way, I'm not coming back. Great little bridge. Could have spent a couple more hours here just going around looking at the ruins of the old mills. I'm reading the information board. There's picnic tables, there's lots of parking, so recommend a nice little day trip, half a day trip if you're in the area, to come here. Thanks as always to the Vermont Covered Bridge Society for all their help and support. It's the new year membership, so come on, it's $15. I know you spent all your money over Christmas, but you must have $15 spare. And what else can you buy for $15 that lasts a whole year? So come and join us. And that's it for me. I'll see you next week in another episode of Vermont's 100 Covered Bridges.